Mark from the States, Mark from the States, it's Mark from the United States.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, Mark from the States. How we doing today? I am doing fantastic. I hope you are as well. Hope you all had a great holiday. Merry Christmas and Happy New Year, the whole bit. I hope, for me, it was wonderful. As you can see from behind me, Christmas decorations are coming down. It's always kind of sad, but needed. It's had family with us for pretty much the whole month of December, so it was awesome having them here. But I'm sure they're ready to go home, and my son finally left today, and it was kind of sad, but we'll see him again soon, hopefully. So hopefully yours was great. Before today's video, which is going to be cool, I wanted to show you a couple things that I received. One was from my son, in talks with my other son, Cooper, who you know is a huge Arsenal fan. So they got me this scarf, Arsenal scarf. And it's awesome because it's big and wide, and it's been chilly here, and my son Cooper, he plays soccer, and it's always nice to have a scarf while watching the games because it keeps your neck warm and all that good stuff. But I don't know if you can see it there. They had it embroidered, Mark from the States. So that's kind of cool. I mean, even though it's Arsenal, but I don't care, right? What do I care? I don't care. The other thing I got was in the mail. This is from Glenn, one of the channel family members, longtime family member. He would hoped it had gotten here before Christmas. It actually came right after. And that's the thing, if you're going to mail something, I think this was mailed in October. And it got here right after Christmas, so he was a little bummed. But we're going to go ahead and open it. But that wasn't too difficult. But the cool thing was I noticed the stamp on here. I don't know if you can read it, but it says Home Headquarters, the Queen's Royal Hussars, Regent's Park Barracks, Albany Street, London. It says right on here what it is on the customs declaration, but I'm not going to spoil it for you. It comes with a nice little box. Pretty awesome. Upside down. Wow, that's cool. So I don't know if you can see that. Let me see what you can see here. They're cufflinks, a tie pin, okay, and a tie clip. And it looks like they have the, hopefully that can zoom in on there. It's kind of hard to get it zoomed in, but really cool. Thank you, Glenn. I will definitely, I don't dress up in a suit and tie too often, but when I do, I'm definitely going to use these. They're just really cool. Thank you so much. And just seeing where it came from, I was like totally excited, you know. It's like, this is awesome. He also sent a card. Pretty awesome card. It just says, the Queen's Royal Hussars Association, greetings and best wishes for Christmas and the New Year's. Yeah, pretty awesome. pretty awesome. So I'm very, very blessed to get something like this. This is awesome. Thank you so much. Yeah. If you do, not required, but if you do want to send something, just know it takes a while to get here. So, but it's certainly not required to be a part of our family here on the channel. But it's always amazing when I do get something from all of you. It's just awesome. Today's video is Nicola White and Mudlarking. We're going to revisit the Mudlarking. This video had come suggested, so we're going to go ahead and check it out. It is my best mudlarking find from the River Thames. Please let her know what you think. I like these videos, and I'll tell you why, because there's a lot of history that's just been dumped into the Thames, or fallen in there, or just somehow ended up in there. And I just am kind of amazed by all the things that she finds and all the others that do this sort of thing that they find. And it's just, there's so much, right? It just seems like it's never ending. You would have thought by now most of it gets cleared out, and there's nothing, but just over and over and over, there's more stuff. So this is gonna be cool. So she says this could be her best find ever. So we'll see. Before we begin, there's a link below. There's two of them actually. There's one that takes you to her channel, which I encourage you to go to. The other one is to this video. So if you don't want to hear me talking, I encourage you to get over there and watch her video on her channel for sure. And then you can come back and explain some of the things, because she finds a lot of things that I have no idea what they are. I mean, she tells me what they are eventually, but lots of it is just like I don't understand the purpose of them, or what they're used for, or the history of it. So I enjoy a lot of the comments that come in after explaining all that stuff. But so yeah, come sit on this big fake couch and join me on another mudlarking adventure with Nicola White. And yeah, let's do it, shall we? We shall. All right.
Oh my gosh, this is just too
Oh,
exciting.
hold on. I didn't change the camera. How's that? We're going to go back. Here we go.
Oh my gosh, this is just too exciting.
HMS
Wow.
something.
This is really, really a wonderful discovery.
What is that? HMS something. What was that? Oh, that's the arena.
I think I've spotted a pipe bowl down here.
She finds a lot of those.
Stone. Can you see it just there?
Yeah.
Now, the reason I'm thinking it's a pipe is because, well, I have seen a few in my time, but also you can just see on the edge there, it's kind of burned, so it looks as if that is the edge of a pipe, and you can just see where the pipe has been smoked. So let's have a look and see what lays beneath. Let's see if my hunch is right. Oh, yes, I am right. Look, there you are. See the top of the bowl? So let's pull it out and see how much stem there is. Where is the bowl? Where is the stem? Oh, yes, there's a little bit of a stem on there. Right, out it comes. Out it comes.
Oh, wow.
Ah, there we have it, look. Beautiful. Absolutely lovely.
It's amazing that there's so many of these.
Welcome to the world, little pipe.
So many of them. So in every video she's finding those.
Now, this is interesting. I'm quite accustomed to finding pieces of slate on the foreshore, but I don't usually find it with something on it. And this is really, really cool because there's a piece here. It was snapped. It was snapped. It was like that. And I first just noticed on the other piece, the other part of the snap piece, like a line. And you know what? There is something on it here. Look. Oh my gosh, this is really exciting. So this is a piece of slate. And yeah, there's lots on the foreshore. And look at this. There's something written on this slate. Now the other part is here, underneath the mud. We may even have the name of a ship, HMS. Oh my gosh, this
What?
is just too exciting. HMS something or other. Remarks. Wow.
I can't read that.
It's really, really a wonderful
And
discovery.
what's the slate
Okay,
for?
let's put that bit there. And let's get this bit out. So I'm going to turn my camera off while I carefully excavate it because I don't want to break it. I'll be back in a minute. Right, so I've got the other little piece out and let's see what we've got here. Oh my goodness, it's really beautifully engraved
Is there a name?
with something, but unfortunately we haven't got all of it, which means I'm going to have to search around here and see if I can find the rest. What does that say? Let's take it down to the river, but I do think we might be able to see what the name of the ship was. Wow, what a brilliantly exciting discovery. You just never know what you can find down on the river. Right, let's just give this a little wash. Oh wow.
HKF.
Well, I can't quite make it out, or I
Yeah.
can't quite see what it is, whether it's a name or instructions or what it is. So I'm going to put it safely in my bag with the other piece. I'm going to have a little look around, see if I can find some more slate that might make up the missing bits. Wish me luck. I can't wait to find out what this is. Absolutely can't wait. There's just something so lovely about finding things with something inscribed on them.
Tide's coming in.
I've just got the other piece as well. Let's see if we can see what the ship is. Look, actually this broken corner bit fits up here. So this completes this line. Sorry for the wind. So it's something like HKF course wind something or other. Remarks HMS
Merlin?
Merton? Merlin? Oh, is it Merlin?
Merlin.
Is it Merlin? Oh my gosh, you'll never guess. I just found some more. Look. Look, look, look. And it's got numbers on. Just here. It's got some numbers. And there's another piece here. Look. 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 4, 5, 6. My goodness, maybe I'm going to find the rest of it. Woo! This is amazing. Right, let me put that in my bag.
I'm curious to know what that's
Let's see if I
for.
can find any more. We're looking for slate. We're looking for
I have to
slate.
say, this, for one day, I think I would like to do what she's doing right here. How fun would that be?
Why would they write on the slate, I wonder? Right, I'm going to continue my search and I'll come back and tell you what I found. Not that bit. Now, I've also just seen something down here which could be interesting. A bit of pottery stuck under this mound of mud. It'd be amazing if it had a name on it, wouldn't it? Oh my gosh, it does have a
Wow,
name on it.
look
Oh
at-
my goodness, this is just incredible. Oh, I think it's a hotel. Something hotel. I Out of all the things I find is ones with names on, which just make me the most excited, because I can then
Something
find out
Hotel
about them and...
London.
Oh, you know, you never know where you're going to end up. It's from the mud to some kind of really inspiring story, often. So that's a hotel in London, and something Anta's Hotel. So I wonder what hotel that is.
I love the
Well,
graphics
this is
on it, though.
incredibly exciting. I've got a piece of slate which has been beautifully inscribed on, and now I've got the name of a hotel to look up. This is why I come mudlarking.
And this is why we join you.
Now,
Nicola,
just
thank
looking
you
down
so
here,
much for allowing
and
us.
There's a square piece of what I think is metal, which has caught my eye.
Before we continue, if you have one subscription and one like to give today, I encourage you to give it to Nicola and her channel. She deserves it. Her videos are just very interesting. Like I said, I think I would want to do this at least once, go out and try it. Obviously, I wouldn't have the eye for it like she does. She's got so much experience. I wouldn't really know what to do, or even where to begin, but she obviously knows how to scan, and see things that are just not normally there. But they all kind of look like rocks and stuff to me, until she pulls them out of the mud. But it's amazing how much stuff there is. When the water goes out, you just have this treasure trove of stuff, of history. I'm really curious to find out what those items were.
And I'm curious to see.
See that? I would think that was a rock. It's pretty amazing. That's pretty wild.
Interesting, isn't
A
it?
button or something?
My hands are quite cold, so I'm not able to do very much with it. Like unfold it or anything. It could be absolutely nothing, but I'll pop it in my pouch and take a closer look at home.
It's almost like it was a button or metal or badge or something.
Here. Or it could be a flat plain disc. But hopefully it's a coin. Can you see it just down there?
Yes.
Let's have a little look. See? Definitely looks like a coin. Oh,
It's a nickel.
It is.
It's like a nickel.
Now that looks like our good friend Queen Victoria, doesn't it?
Oh, yeah, I guess it does. I didn't notice that.
Possibly
Sixpence.
Sixpence. A silver sixpence. We can see the date when I get home.
Oh, wow.
Lovely
That's
find.
cool. Yeah. 1858. Holy smokes. Oh, success. You go. Having a little trouble getting it all the way down.
There's a little pipe stem down there. Let's see if there's anything on the end of it. Ooh, there could be. There could be. Let's give it a tug. Yeah, there's definitely going to be a bowl on there. I wonder if it's a plain one or a decorated one. Oh, look, it's a nice fluted one. Isn't that lovely?
It's just so wild. There's so many of those things, man.
Beautiful. We'll see it a little bit better in more detail at home. I don't really want to dunk my hands in the water because it's too cold.
Oh. This video is from
And I
about a
shall
month
leave the mud
ago.
in it, just in case we find a dottle of tobacco in the bottom. Now look at this pipe bowl. I can recognise exactly what design that is because I've got a few of them at home. There is a galleon or a ship in full sail on that side. And on that side there's a
Anchor.
a fouled anchor. It's lovely.
I would have thought that was a shell.
I wonder what sailor smoked that over a century ago.
So wild.
Now, what I initially spotted down here was a piece of metal which I thought looked like an interesting shape. Actually, it might be. It might be an old padlock. Can you see it here? It might be an old padlock, or at least part of an old padlock. So I'll put it in my bag and clean it up and see if we can see what it is. But then, just as I was
Okay,
about
I
to
can see it.
pick it up and walk away, something else caught my eye. Can you see what it is?
No. Oh, wait.
Just here, look.
Yeah, there's writing.
And it looks like another button, and I think it could be a military button. Let's have a look. Ooh, oh, that looks nice. Is it a general service button? Could be a general service button. Let's give it a little rinse. Oh,
Hands are cold.
let's give it a rinse off. Oh, isn't that lovely? It's in such
Wow.
good condition. That is in beautiful condition.
That's cool.
And I love the way that the mud has preserved it so well for so long. Beautiful.
Yeah.
Now down here I've seen a lovely nail, or the end of a lovely copper nail poking
Ooh.
out. It looks like the kind of nail that might have a broad arrow on it. Look at that beautiful specimen of nail.
Jeez. It's a spike.
Yep, there we are, look. Just see there, that broad arrow. I think. You see it? I'll show you a cleaned up version.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, the crow likes it. They're also called crow's feet, actually, sometimes.
I can see that
There it
too.
is.
I know she's gone to the gloves. Good.
That is a lovely nail. You can't buy them in the DIY store anymore, quite like that, can you? Beautiful. Hello, friend. You coming to see me?
So wild.
It's one of our favourite finds here. A little button. Let's have a look. Let's see if there's anything on there. There is something, isn't there? I cannot read it. But there's definitely something, hopefully a maker or a tailor's, a shop that we can look up. I put my gloves on. I've seen scent. My fingers are getting so cold. Let's have a last look at this before I go home and get out of the cold.
HMS Merlin. What would that go to? It's almost like a... the numbers there. Like maybe they can put chalk to it. Almost like a chalkboard in a way.
Indeed for watching my video. How are you all doing? As always, it's great to see you all here, and I am very excited now to spend some time with you talking about some of the objects which you saw me find in the mud of the River Thames, especially the piece of slate with lettering on it, which has to be one of my best ever mudlarking finds. But before we delve deeper into those
Really?
finds,
Wow.
I just want to check in with you and find out how you're all doing. I hope you're all well and in good health and
Thank
in good
you.
spirits, and that all is well in your world. And if things aren't going so well, I really, really hope that they soon start to get a lot better. So
It's very nice of her.
This outing was just wonderful, apart from the terrible wind distortion, which you will probably have noticed. I'm sorry about that. I do have
That's okay.
a lot better equipment now to deal with that wind, but I actually filmed that over 2 years ago now, and so you were really immersed with me there in the experience
2
of
years
the River
ago.
Thames, wind and all the elements and everything. But I hope that it didn't spoil your enjoyment of the video too much.
Nope.
Certainly finding that slate was extremely exciting. As many of you know, if you watch my videos, I love finding objects with names on, and in this video, that outing, there are several objects with names on, and it just means that they just take on an extra dimension. They're not just an object. You can research them and find out more about the people, the events associated with them. And that is so exciting. And actually, what I want to do before I start talking about the slate is just read you a couple of passages from Ivan Noel Hume's book, Treasure in the Thames. Ivan Noel Hume was an archaeologist in the 50s, and he wrote Treasure in the Thames, either late 50s or early 60s. It's a brilliant book. If you have the opportunity to read it, I'd highly recommend it. And I love the way he writes. So there's a couple of passages I just want to read. The first one is, "The river's treasures are not confined to tangible objects, but also include memories of people and events." I
So
love that.
true.
It really resonates with me. I've always thought of the Thames as a giant liquid storybook full of stories and memories, events. So that just really
I like that.
resonates with me. And then there's another passage here where he says, "If we are afraid to give way to our imagination, the river's treasures must inevitably remain dull and lifeless, for it is only in our minds that they can be transported from soulless museum cases back into their original settings." And that resonates with me too. It's so true. When we hold an object like this log slate, it's essentially just an object, but we can imagine the people that might have held it in the past, and it just becomes so much more than just an object. So this was just wonderful to find, a magical find, and especially magical because it's HMS Merlin. How much more magical can you get than that? So this is a log slate, and it would have been on the deck of HMS Merlin. It would have been written on by an officer or a lieutenant during the day, the remarks of what's going on deck, the wind speed, what the weather's like, etc., various other things. And then in the evening, once the captain would have approved it, it would have been transferred into a paper log. So which Merlin did it come from? Because when I started
That's pretty close, I think.
look up HMS Merlin, there were in fact at least 10 Merlins, but we've managed to
Really?
pinpoint it down to the Merlin, which was built in southeast London, in Rotherhithe actually, in 1757. And this is because the lettering certainly fits that time and the style of logbook as well.
1757.
And also because on examining
Wow.
some logbooks from various HMS Merlins, this one, which we believe it's from, the one built in 1757, was in southeast London quite a lot, in Deptford and in Greenwich and in Woolwich, very close to where I found this log slate. So the 1757 Merlin was a sloop of war with 16 guns, and it saw service during the American Revolutionary War, and it appears to have ended its service in 1777 when it was deliberately run aground. So what we're going to do now is just take a closer look at the log slate and find out a little bit more about it. Here we see again in the mud the 4 pieces of log slate belonging to HMS Merlin, and we believe it's the Merlin which was built in Rotherhithe in 1757. The 2 larger pieces I found together and the 2 smaller pieces were about 2 metres away, so I was so fortunate to be able to match these 4 pieces up, that they fit together so well. So this log slate would have been up on deck, probably embedded in wood, and on it the midshipman, lieutenant or officer would have marked down the wind conditions, the weather conditions, speeds, the courses that the ship was taking, and any remarks of what was going on. And then in the evening it would have been transferred to a paper log once approved by the captain, and then the log would have been wiped clean. So the slate would have been wiped clean, hence the saying, wiping the slate clean. And here we see the layout, the columns, the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, etc., the time of day, and then the columns at the top, HKF. I don't actually know what HKF means, actually, so if you know, please do let me know.
Please let her and me know.
Again, the beautiful writing of that time, of that Georgian time. King George II would have been king at that time.
Well, that's, wind.
Lettering.
Tells you the
We
wind.
can see the PM there, so
all
I
that
wonder
stuff.
what happened to the AM part of the log slate. Here we see it all cleaned up. So again, we can really see those columns and the fact that somebody's actually done that by hand. It's just so very, very special. It's like a little work of art. Now here is an example of an 1820 whaling ship logbook, and as you can see, the format is very similar. Again, it has the numbers down the side, which maybe that's hours actually, but the K and the F, not too sure, courses, winds and remarks, just like our log slate from Merlin. So what I did was I went to the Greenwich Maritime Museum and I visited the archives.
I love that she does that.
I was thrilled to find this.
I love how she goes and researches all the stuff that she finds and, just doesn't Google it, which is probably something I would just do, but, that is a really cool, man, 1757.
I visited the archives. And there I was thrilled to find this old logbook and several other logbooks actually from HMS Merlin, the one which was built in 1757. Now just look at that front page and that flourishing, beautiful writing. Here's a slightly closer view of it. A journal of the proceedings on board His Majesty's frigate Merlin. I just adore that writing. It makes me want to write like that myself. And the bottom half of the page here, between the 24th of June 1757 and the 30th day of June 1758, and then a beautiful flourishing signature of the captain at the time. And this must have been the first logbook of the Merlin, which was built in 1757. And here you can get an idea of the layout of the actual paper logbook, and it was very special to read all these entries by the officers and lieutenants of the details of what was going on, the work being done on the ship, deliveries that were coming on board of weapons and food, etc. We can see from this entry that on Wednesday 13th of July 1757, HMS Merlin was at Deptford Dockyard in southeast London, and in fact she was there for the rest of that week at least, taking on board provisions for a future journey and also being fitted out. And we can see also in the right-hand column that she was fast by Kinsale at Deptford, and I believe that Kinsale refers to another ship. And we can see here that a few years later, in May 1762, HMS Merlin was again at another southeast London dockyard, Woolwich this time, and we can see that she was moored alongside the hulks at Woolwich. I believe this refers to the prison hulks, and was moored head to stern between 2 hulks. And again here we can see some of the provisions which were being taken on board, and also some of the preparations being made before starting another journey. Received from Ahoy from London 70 puncheons of beer, as well as fresh beef, cheese, butter and 90 bags of bread, and the riggers have finished the rigging. Now this entry caught my attention. We can see here that a sailor, J. Thompson, was punished for disobedience to command. There's also much mention of work going on the ship, careening, for example, loading ballast onto the ship, and other work being carried out. Careening is when barnacles are removed from the keel of the ship, so the ship sails a lot.
That's not a good job.
And here again, they received guns and ammunition from Woolwich, butter, beer, bags of bread, bushels of peas and bushels of oatmeal, cheese, biscuits, and more fresh beef. And then even more fresh beef. They certainly enjoyed their beef. On the website 3decks.org, we're able to find out all the details about HMS Merlin. We can see a detailed list of her activities, and we know that one of Merlin's first journeys was to Jamaica in 1759. And then her last journey was when she set sail to North America in 1775. It's there that she was abandoned and burnt on orders from Lord Howe whilst under fire. It really was magical to touch those ancient books and to open them up and read the entries by the men on HMS Merlin so many years ago. And it was wonderful to read about some of the work done on the ship that I can link to some of my other mudlarking finds, like these huge barnacles which would have been careened off of the keels of ships, probably very similar to HMS Merlin. And to find out what kind of food they had on board as well. They evidently loved their beef, and how did they keep it during the journey? I suppose in big barrels of salt. And also, with regards to the wiping the slate clean, it just made me realise how many sayings come from maritime objects. I've got another one of my maritime finds here, this huge, very, very heavy lead sounding weight, and this also has a saying attributed to it, swinging the lead, and so many more. I tell you what, if you can think of a saying related to anything maritime, please put it in the comments below, and let's see how many sayings we can get. There's also between the devil and the deep blue sea, which is related to when they were caulking in a particular place, which was very dangerous. So it was like being between the devil and the deep blue sea. So that's that for that magical find, which I would have shared with you a lot earlier, but I had the intention of going to check out the captain's logbooks as well, but they are held in the archives at Kew. I didn't get around to it, but it's something I do intend to do, possibly in the year to come, because there's just so much more that I'd like to discover about HMS Merlin. Right, so for my next find with a name on it, let's have a look at this. So the clue that we have here is that it is Anta's Hotel, London. It probably comes from Tranter's Hotel. And Tranter's Hotel, I'm going to read you a little bit about it, was located in Cripplegate in a Georgian building with 60 rooms before being destroyed by World War II bombs. It was advertised between 1887 and 1919 as a very centrally located hotel, convenient for St Paul's Cathedral, for business and pleasure. And it was also advertised as a temperance hotel. Now we also have here a little button. I always love finding buttons, and it's brilliant when they have a name on them. And this one does. The name on this
Piccadilly, something
is
Piccadilly.
F.T. Pruitt. And I did find a really nice article actually in the Taylor and Potter in 1908. An article written by one of his friends when Mr. F.T. Pruitt sadly passed away. So we're going to take a look at that now.
This is an article from the Tailor and Cutter magazine dated April 16th, 1908. And it was written by Mr. John Williamson on the occasion of the death of his friend, Mr. F.T. Pruitt. And he says of Mr. F.T. Pruitt, Mr. Pruitt was held in high esteem by all his contemporaries. He was a shrewd businessman of sound, reliable judgment. He was one to whom younger men often resorted for advice. He was indeed for years the leading man of his circle, to whom they looked up. On one occasion, he and I made a tour in Italy together, and during my later years in business, he was a frequent visitor at my house. After I retired from business, I lost sight of him for a number of years, till one day recently I saw him in Hastings. We were both changed, the hair on both our faces having become white, and he had adopted a fanciful way of trimming his moustache, so that we were not quite sure of each other. He came and sat down beside me on the pier, and I asked if I saw Mr. Pruitt. Then followed a long and pleasant talk of those past days. So it is that one generation passes away, a new one rising up to take its place, and with each new one the order of things changes. The former are the pioneers of new movements. The new one brings its fresh energy and develops and perfects that which the former began. As this refers to tailoring, many will hear of the death of our friend Pruitt with regret, and we will all hope that his successors will continue to maintain all the best traditions of our trade.
The last find I'm going to mention is this piece of metal here, which I did unfold, and you know, it makes me smile to think that somebody over 100 years ago was just absent-mindedly folding up this piece of lead and then chucked it in the mud, and then years and years later I've come along and found it, and it was quite cool unfolding it to see what secrets it held. And actually what it does hold is another name, and this time it's W.T. Glover. And the W stands for Walter, and Walter Glover founded W.T. Glover and Co. Limited in 1868.
Electric light wire.
Manufactured electric cables. And for any Man United fans out there, and I definitely know at least one Man United fan out there, W.T. Glover had his premises just next to Old Trafford, the stadium where I believe Man United plays. So I think that's it for the objects that I'm going to talk to you about on this occasion, and I really hope that you enjoyed discovering a little bit about them as much as I did. So what else did I want to tell you? I recently was in the Isles of Scilly. In fact, those of you that watch my videos regularly would have noticed that I haven't had a video out for a couple of weeks. There are a few reasons. One of them was it was my birthday, and I really would love to say thank you so much to everybody who wished me a happy birthday.
Belated.
Thank you very much. I had an absolutely wonderful day. And the second reason is that I went on a spontaneous trip to the Isles of Scilly with Ellie of Miss Detectorist, who has a fantastic YouTube channel, so please do go and check her out. She's a Miss Detectorist, and she's
is that a metal detecting? Yeah.
She finds some absolutely fabulous objects. And anyway, we spent a few days in the Isles of Scilly. She is also a fantastic artist, and so she was artist in residence on Tresco on the Isles of Scilly, and I went over there a few days after she did, and we spent a few days going around the island and discovering stories about shipwrecks, because there are so many shipwrecks that took place around the Isles of Scilly. And also I took over there with me a very old sketchbook which I bought in a flea market for £1, full of watercolour paintings that were done by a lady back in 1918 of
various places on the Isles of Scilly. So I wanted to go back and try and find some of these places, and it was brilliant. Ellie took me around and we discovered some of the places that this lady painted, again, over 100 years ago. So it was a brilliant trip. So that's what I've been up to. And now I'm back here and I'm looking forward to sharing lots of content with you. I have so many videos to share with you. I've got videos from Chicago, videos from Holland, and of course plenty of videos
Chicago,
from the River Thames. So I think that's about it from me for now, and what I would really like to say, as always, is thank you very much indeed for watching my video, for watching all my videos, for your support, for your encouragement, for your comments, and to those of you who have donated to my Ko-fi account and my super thanks, thank you very much indeed. I appreciate each and every one of you, and I'm really looking forward to seeing you again very, very soon for another fabulous adventure. And in the meantime, please take care, sending you loads of love. Look after yourself, look after your friends. Take care. Bye-bye.
She has such nice things to say. She's just enjoyable to watch. She just is a nice person. I'm grateful that she allows us to watch and see the things that she finds and learn about history, because that's what this channel, in my opinion, is ultimately about, is the history that she finds. It's a history show, and it's just history that has just been scattered for centuries, apparently. I mean, geez, 1757. We've seen some other things that I think were even earlier. So that ship that she found that slate from ended up going to the Americas and was scuttled over there somewhere. So it had lost the slate before it had left for America. So that is incredible. So, yeah, this was fun. This was a fun journey. I hope everybody's happy, healthy, and safe. Thanks so much for coming and hanging out and watching and learning today. Hopefully you learned something new. Obviously, I did. Go support her channel. It's really important that you do so. Like, subscribe to her stuff. Don't worry about our channel. We live just for hanging out with each other and learning. She does that as a career, it seems like. So it's important that you go and support her. Again, Glenn, thank you so much for the kind gift. I will cherish these. And we'll see you in another video. Everybody's gone, so I'm back to making videos. So you will see me soon. Hopefully you'll coming back. Hopefully YouTube didn't, since I hadn't really posted anything in 2 weeks. Hopefully YouTube didn't take me out of the algorithm. But I'm back. Hopefully you'll be able to see this. All right, everybody. We'll see you in the next one. Take care. Bye.
Mark from the States, Mark from the States, it's Mark